Expressed by Rodney Monker, his guests, callers, and advisors on Freedom March are not necessarily those of the management, ownership, or production unit of ILS, the Verizon Media Group. Freedom March is a production of ILTV Studios and cannot be reproduced or represented in part or entirety without the express written consent of the Verizon Media Group. Freedom March is the intellectual property of the Verizon Media Group. Copyright 2017. All rights are reserved.
The role of a woman in the society is to submit. Birth control are the pills of the devil. Education is so fundamental to the development of a people. Hang murderers. Simple as that. What am I voting for? Voting will change nothing.
Tout le monde haïtien, como ye. God save the Queen.
Broadcasting live from ILTV Studios here in Nassau, Bahamas. Welcome to Freedom March. My name is Rodney Monker. I'm a Justice of the Peace here in the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. And of course, I'm a member of the local Catholic Church community. Well, folks, yesterday will go down in infamy. It was a disgraceful situation unfolding in the Honorable House of Assembly. The Speaker turned into a bully, and he was a national disgrace. It is regrettable that the Speaker attacked opposition leader Philip Brave Davis and his wife, and his scandalous attack on the opposition leader in the Senate, Senator the Honorable Fred Mitchell. I'm going to warn the Honorable Speaker because I know that the Speaker was once a member of Reverend Miles Monroe Church. You will recall that in March of 2014, the late Miles Monroe launched an unprovoked attack on Fred Mitchell. Fred Mitchell had not done him anything, but Miles Monroe attacked him. By the end of 2014, something happened that rocked the Bahamas and the world. Miles Monroe went down in a plane crash. There was a serious debate between Fred Mitchell as he defended the nasty assertions launched against him by Miles Monroe. I'm going to talk about that in the course of the show. Let me warn, do not attack Fred Mitchell unjustly. Let me just warn. However, the opposition leader, Philip Brave Davis, under serious provocation, maintained his posture, and he launched a salvo against the Speaker. He accused the Speaker of being a bully and a buffoon. We'll talk about that. I'm disappointed in the Speaker, and it is clear to me that the Speaker misled me when he told me that he was a saved man. Saved people do not do what he did. He's a political coward, and it is wrong for him to have attacked Brave Davis' wife. So today I shall look at the politicians who have foreign wife, and then I will look at the politician who is taking care of other man children in their marriage. You all won't be nasty, eh? But let's talk nastiness, because I have my list and I intend to read it now. This is Freedom March My spiritual advisor is not here. I'm launching a salvo. I'll be right back after the break.
Freedom March with Rodney Monker will be right back after this. This is Freedom March with Rodney Monker.
Welcome back to Freedom March, broadcasting live on ILTV studios here in Nassau, Bahamas. My name is Rodney Monker, and I'm troubled today. The government is upon my shoulder, and I'm not Emmanuel. Notwithstanding yesterday that the government of the United States of America has issued another security alert, warning citizens of the United States who are here in the Bahamas to be aware of their surroundings and to watch out because crime is escalating here on the island of New Providence. Well, last night, according to Bahama Press, another Negro man, his car was hijacked and he was executed, shot in cold blood. Today, he lies on the cooling board, dead. This is the second Negro male within a matter of days who suffered serious gun wounds. Just on Sunday, police reported that a Negro man living on Ruberdane Lane or somewhere in the Bainstown and Grandstown constituency, there was an attempt to hijack his car. He resisted an attempt to leave the scene, and in the process, 2 Negro gunmen, one of whom opened fire on him. The victim, however, was shot in his back somewhere, but he was able to get to the Sudden Police Station, located on the corner of Market Street and Quaco Street, where he told the police what happened. He was taken to the hospital and he died. So we have had 2 identical murders. One at the first day of the week, Sunday, and last night. But the Parliament of the Bahamas met. And what have they been discussing? The Speaker, instead of acting like an educated Christian man, he descended into the gutter, and he thinks that he's macho because he, acting like a sissy man, attacked the leader of the opposition wife, and she has done him nothing. Come, Mr. Moultrie. The leader of the opposition, if you have a problem with him, you can attack him. But why attack his wife? Why attack his wife? And what is the problem here? Moultrie is a member of the Free National Movement, but he does not know the party history. He does not know that in a society, men and relationships do expire, and men do get divorced, and people do remarry. Let's look at the men in the Free National Movement who have been married, and notwithstanding, they have gotten divorced. And there's no shame and scandal if people decide that they're going to get a divorce for whatever reason. But when it becomes a political weapon, you have to be careful. I don't want to bring up things, because as soon as I heard you saying it, my mind went back to 1982, when a controversy erupted over a divorce application involving the late Sir Kendall G. L. Isaac. I could see the divorce file from 1982 in my head as if I had it in my hands today. We must be careful that we do not start things that we can't end. To attack people's sexuality at a time when the Attorney General just came from Geneva telling the United Nations that in the Bahamas there are no sexual attacks and discrimination. But the Speaker, he gets up in the House and he talks about man putting powder puff. Mr. Speaker, you're giving me the impression, I know I'm wrong, that you liking man. And I say to you, stop liking man. Simple as that. How the heck you know man putting on powder? Stop watching man. All right? Because you're going to cause me to believe that you liking man. All right? Stop liking man. And I don't mean you are a sissy. All right? But you are certainly acting as one by virtue of you attacking man, damn wife. Don't do that. All right? You attack the man. You could curse out Philip Brave Davis. You could even throw the mace after him. But to be attacking his wife, it's foolish. Now where's my list? Because I got a long list of F&Ms who mining the wrong baby. All right? You see what happens when we become scandalous? Poor baby. Gotta eat. You know how many F&Ms sitting in government who is mining other man baby? Suppose I give the list to Bahama Press. Then y'all would say that I'm not kind. Y'all would say that I'm scandalous. All right? Y'all better stop it. I got the list here, but I ain't gonna call it. I ain't gonna do it. Today, I shall not do it, because blessed are the peacemakers. But I want this to stop, okay? And stop attacking and talking about who's sissy, because I'm certain that there has to be sissy in the F&M. So why y'all are bringing up this nasty conversation? Let's deal with crime. Let's deal with creating jobs. Let's talk about improving agriculture. But certainly what took place is a national disgrace. But I'm tempted to look at least one or two F&Ms who have married foreign women. There's nothing wrong with marrying foreign women. One of the reasons why we got all this breast cancer in Nassau, and I ain't no doctor, and I ain't giving no medical advice. I'm giving you anecdotal evidence. One of the problems in the Bahamas is we are interbreeding. You check it. Huh? All of us, with the exception of me, we are interbreeding because we are all related. Those of us from the central Bahamas. So every now and then, you need some new blood. You need some new woman. You need some new man. You need some new genes, because we are interbreeding. You don't say everybody got breast cancer? Huh? Because we're interbreeding. I don't need no doctor to tell me that, because I watch from anecdotal evidence. It's just amazing the kind of nonsense that is taking place in the country. Y'all better be lucky I can't find that list, because I've been annoyed from I came here. All right? Let's start with who got foreign wife. The vice premier in of the Bahamas, Brent Simonet Daddy, Sir Roland Simonet. He was married to a foreign woman. Sir Cecil Wallace Whitfield divorced his Bahamian wife to marry a woman from the United Kingdom. All right? So people do it. Let's see who else has been doing this. All right? Sir Kendall Isaac. He was married to a Guyanese woman. Arthur Dion Hanna, a former governor general, it was married to Miss Beryl Hanna, formerly from the United Kingdom. The first woman governor general was married to a man who, in more modern times, many people said that he reminded them of a Taliban. Dame Ivy Dumont was married to a West Indian. What y'all talking about? By those marriage, new blood, new gene. A new gene pool was created, all right? And then, of course, we have Sir Henry Milton Taylor, a former governor general. He was married to an African American. And then, of course, Sir Gerald Cash. Sir Gerald Cash was married to a Jamaican woman. All right? Y'all stop it before people start telling y'all how you're mining other man's children. All right? Y'all stop it. You can make the thing nasty. And we should not be doing those kind of things. Can't we find a better way to lift the standard of debate? We have to. I mean, it's just disgraceful. All right? But I thank God that Philip Brave Davis, who has been provoked. You see why I keep my wife out of politics? And I've said to her, woman, I can't have you in politics because these are a bunch of nasty, weightless men. And when they can't find no reason to attack serious man, they will attack serious man them wife. And we saw it. Here is a man who claimed to be saved. That's what he claims. Halston Moultrie said he was saved and sanctified, but he needed to be washed in the middle of the river Jordan. In fact, somebody need to push his head down in the river Jordan at least for 5 minutes before he emerged. It's just horrible. So, I have prophetess Miriam Emanuel on my mind. She's on my mind. I'm going to look at what she say because I think that I may not have been fair to prophetess Miriam after reading her contribution. She ain't from Acklinson, Crooked Island. To the best of my knowledge, she like Concondo. She from Abaco, if I have it correctly, Moores Island. So I have to look at what she say in the cultural context of her blessed father. Because having read what she say, how the heck we can be mad with her for what her father taught her? I agree with her, Daddy. I'm going to look at that. I'm going to look at Philip Brave Davis, what he say, and how he's called the speaker a bully. I call him a bully goat. Goodness of mercy. Halston Moultrie has let me down. All right? So we have to look at these things. It's so much things, man. And it's just amazing. They suspended the entire opposition. Can you imagine that? Can you imagine that Halston Moultrie has turned out to be the Bahamas Idi Amin Dada? You're big and black like him, and you're acting stupid like him. All right? I'm disappointed in you. How dare you talk about suspending the whole opposition? The whole opposition? Meanwhile, the FNM moved to borrow $90 million. Well, Philip Brave Davis, he better do to the FNM what Hubert Ingram did to the PLP in 1991. Because the same kind of foolishness took place. And I hope that Philip Brave Davis will warn the IDB the same way Hubert Ingram told the Bank of Nova Scotia when Penland and the PLP moved a resolution to borrow some money. Ingram told them, listen, the opposition, for whatever reason, either the opposition wasn't there or something, and he told Scotia Bank, you could further give Penland them the loan. But when we become the government, based on how that resolution was done, we will not honor it. And Scotiabank told Sir Lyndon, you're going to have to do the resolution again. And Penland was forced to do it again. Philip Brave Davis, do you remember 1991? Well, you have to tell the IDB that if the F&M passed the resolution having suspended the PLP from the House, the $90 million when the F&M is voted out, they're going to have to go to Hubert Minnis and Halston Moultrie for the money. I right here, I remember what happened. Papa still living. And Papa told the Scotiabank, he say, I ain't like how Penland them passed that resolution. We ain't gonna pay it. And Penland had to bring it again, a second time. And by grab, 27 years later, we now see that Dr. Minnis is committing the same mistake. Oh boy, all kind of foolishness. Man, you all Negroes, it's so disappointing. All this foolishness in the paper that I have to read, right? All this nonsense that the speaker, almost as if he doesn't understand himself. Here is a foolish Negro speaker who Minnis has given an opportunity, like if he couldn't wait to show us how smart he is with his stupid self. God forgive me for calling the Speaker of the Honorable House of Assembly stupid. But meanwhile, in the Senate today, opposition senators didn't show up. And Candia Dames, she has speculated that they are standing in solidarity with opposition leader Philip Brave Davis, Deputy Leader Chester Cooper, South Andres MP Percival Forbes, and Angliston Member of Parliament Jason Glennis Hannah Martin. But praise the Lord, at 7 p.m. tonight, thousands of people will assemble in Nassau Village, and I call on the woman them each to carry a roll of toilet paper and carry it wet. So when we see the speaker, we could take the toilet paper and throw it in the air. And when we throw it in the air, let's hope the speaker can't catch. Mr. Speaker, you're a national disgrace. You ain't safe. You ain't sanctified. And I'm cursing you out. When I come back, this is Freedom March. The speaker is uncouth.
Freedom March with Rodney Monker will be right back after this. It's expressed by Rodney Monker, his guests, callers, and advisors on Freedom March are not necessarily those of the management, ownership, or production unit of ILS, the Verizon Media Group. Freedom March is a production of ILTV Studios and cannot be reproduced or represented in part or entirety without the express written consent of the Verizon Media Group. Freedom March is the intellectual property of the Verizon Media Group. Copyright 2017. All rights are reserved.
Welcome back to Freedom March, broadcasting live on ILTV Studios here in Nassau, Bahamas. My name is Rodney Monker, and I thank God my spiritual advisor, Bradley Roll, is here. Bradley, how are you?
I'm doing great, Mr. Monker. Good afternoon. Good afternoon to the Bahamas.
This is powerful.
Everything okay?
Well, not really. I'm certain by now you would have heard that the Parliament of the Bahamas descended into a national disgrace as the Speaker of the Honorable House of Assembly, Pastor Halston Moultrie, launched a vicious attack on the opposition, and particularly his attempt to scandalize the decent wife and to provoke the leader of the opposition to slapping him. But I thank God, because when you attack a man's wife, you actually provoking him.
Yeah, it is crossing the line, to say the least. Hearing all the things flying around, Mrs. Monica, obviously something went drastically wrong in the House, and I think it should be corrected. I do feel that the Speaker did cross the line when he attempted to bring into the House of Assembly the opposition leader's wife. I think it is unkind. I think the Speaker of the House should apologize to the opposition leader for that. Because if you're going to deal with politics, deal with the politics. Leave all the personal attacks out of the political row. And, as far as possible, you want to make sure that peace is on both sides. I always saw the Speaker of the House as being someone neutral as it relates to the operation of the House. I know his powers are to keep the House in line, make sure there's order in the House. But clearly it seems as if we have a Speaker who apparently has shown his hand politically. And it seems as if there is obvious injustice and unfairness towards the opposition and the argument. I looked at everything that was going on. I listened to the Speaker's, a few words of his comments, and I thought they were not fitting at all.
But for me, what was shocking is the leader of government business, Renwood Wells, who is married to a white American woman, and that he could stand there and allow the Speaker to launch such a nasty attack. I'm disappointed in Renwood Wells.
Well,
I'm very disappointed because Renwood Wells has a whole white woman as a wife.
Well, Mr. Monica, I'm always on your case too, as relates to the way we, treat one another. And as somebody who carries the banner of Christ, I have to cut it straight today. I remember you had an incident, and I listened to the conversation very carefully. You had an incident where a top government official called you, and they said, listen, Mr. Monica, I don't have a problem with you if you call me out politically, but, leave my family alone. And that was, in all fairness, that was correct. That if you're going to deal with the politics, you deal with the politics at hand. And, you leave
but there is a
family.
Rule. See, let's get it clear. A wife who issues no political statement
should not be attacked politically.
A wife who is political is subject to political attack.
Scrutiny. Okay. All right.
Children, adult children who are involved in politics and issue political statements.
Right. But no human being should be subject to personal attack.
No personal attack.
Regardless of their religious affiliation or their political affiliation.
Yes.
Because remember now, we're still all human beings, and the Bible encourages all of us, as far as possible, and as far as it depends on you and I, Mr. Monica, that we are to live at peace with all men. So we're all going to have our political and religious differences, but we still are to treat one another with some sort of dignity,
All right. Let's look at what he has to say. So I'll go to the Tribune, where the Negro reporter, Rashad Roll, he reports in today's Tribune. In a surprising and unusual speech from the chair yesterday, House Speaker Halston Moultrie launched personal attacks against members of the Progressive Liberal Party while defending his decision to suspend Angleton MP Glenys Hannemartin last week. Among other things, Mr. Moultrie took a swipe at the foreign-born status of the wife of PLP leader Philip Brave Davis, and in an apparent dig at PLP chairman Fred Mitchell, he accused Mr. Davis of taking advice from reprobates and perverts. Mr. Moultrie also lashed out at retired parliamentary clerk Maurice Steins at a press conference call not long after the House of Assembly adjourned. PLP officials described the Speaker's conduct as bizarre and shocking. Mr. Davis called him, quote, a bullying buffoon, end quote, and referred to him as a Durgan. I really don't know what that big word means, but Durgan sounds bad. D-R-G-I-N, Ezekiel. What does Durgan mean?
Oh, Durgan.
But whatever it means, the speaker is nothing but a Durgan. It must be something
Yeah, but don't
to whale his backside.
Yeah.
I'm reading the statement.
Okay,
Just hold
okay.
on. He is unprincipled and disgraceful, Mr. Davis said. Mr. Mitchell said he was not troubled by Mr. Moultrie's references to him, but is happy to meet him in the street if the latter desires. Among the criticism that appeared to irritate Mr. Moultrie the most was Mr. Davis's allegation on Sunday that misogyny influenced his treatment of Mrs. Hannah Martin. Responding, Mr. Moultrie said yesterday, while I can give you more than 90 reasons why the member for Cat Island, Rumkey and San Salvador's allegation is absolutely absurd, I shall confine my response to the fact that I am married to a beautiful and wonderfully made being and grandstand woman for the past 38 years. And I want to emphasize to the member for Cat Island, Rumkey and San Salvador that my wife is an indigenous Bahamian woman and that I have had in over those 38 years no reason for divorce, he said. Our marriage has been touted by the church, marriage groups, and by the Broadcasting Corporation of the Bahamas as a model, love affair, and as a husband, I have been deemed a role model of how husband should love and treat his wife, Mr. Moultrie said. Member for Cat Island, Rumkey and San Salvador, he is fully aware of past encounters with myself that I do not have a track record of hating women. You know, the member and I have a mutual best friend. And if the member had consulted our best friend on this matter, I am sure he would have been advised to leave that part and to leave this matter alone. Notwithstanding, the member has allowed, in my estimation, reprobates and perverts with track records of denying and hating women to insert such a ludicrous assertion in his press release. My name might begin with M, but the first three letters are Mu and not Mit. Don't mix me up. I'm not a soft powder puff man. I'm a real man, he said in an apparent reference to Mitchell. Now, let me stop there. How the speaker know that Mr. Mitchell put powder puff on? I accuse you of liking man. Stop liking man and stop watching man. I want you to stop it. Because at 64, you should get over whatever hang-ups you have. What kind of nonsense? You're not setting an example for young people. That's what the politics come down to? Huh? Come, Mr. Speaker, hold up the standard. You now open your wife to attack. Because suppose somebody said, listen, we know your wife from being in Grandstand, and she's not an Arawak Indian. They are the indigenous women.
Indigenous Bahamian. Well, I always wonder who's an indigenous Bahamian, because we don't,
I don't
there are
know.
none alive today, as far as I know.
Right.
Yeah.
And I know his wife. She used to be a member of the Roman Catholic Church. You hear me? Go to St. Joseph. All right? Stop it. Stop subjecting women to this level of indignity. You are a misogynist. Because if you wasn't a misogynist, you would not refer to Philip Brave Davis' wife. Stop liking man. All right? Stop liking man. That's what's going on here. All right? So that is the foolishness that this big Negro man is running on. And he thinks he's cool. You're not cool, Mr. Speaker. You're stupid. God forgive me for saying that. But let's see what Mr. Brave Davis said. All right? Let's see what Mr. Davis say. Mr. Davis at the press conference said he interpreted the speaker's references to wives as an attack on his own wife, who was born in Trinidad. Brave Davis' wife was born in Trinidad. I don't think much of a man who attacks another's wife, he said. That man is a sniveling coward. From the chair, he shows his lack of intelligence. He shows he is not fit for office that he occupies. Talking about one's wife is highly provocative, which very often leads to a breach of the peace. I don't understand why the speaker would be so provocative when we in this society are trying to teach young men and women to pursue the things that make for peace. For his part, Mr. Mitchell said he wouldn't address the speaker's references to him head on. I told people, as it relates to myself, in a sense, you don't want to dignify the stupidity of those comments. This morning, by responding to it, I could tell him all about his ma. You see, Fred Mitchell could tell the speaker all about his ma. And you see how a big fight will break out? You attack the man ain't doing nothing. Let me tell you something. The last man who stood in a pulpit and unprovoked, without provocation from Fred Mitchell, was the late Pastor Miles Monroe. And Miles was unfair. And him and Fred Mitchell got into a spiritual row over who God is the most powerful God. Because Fred Mitchell declared to him that the God he serves is not the God that Miles served. This was in 2014. And on the 9th of November 2014, I almost died when I got the word that Miles Monroe, who was mean and unkind to Fred Mitchell, suffered an ill-fated accident. It's emotional for me. It was shocking. It was devastating. But the only thing that I could think about was the row between him and Fred Mitchell over who was serving the right God. And when it was over, on the face of it, I shall say it, it appears to me that Fred's God was the God of the holy people of holy Israel, Jehovah. Be careful, Mr. Moultrie. Do not provoke things. Be a peacemaker. You want to criticize Fred Mitchell? Criticize him on issues, on policies. You want to go after Philip Brave Davis? Let's talk about what he did in government. But leave the man's wife alone. For a man has a right to love the woman he wants to love. It's none of your business. If you're satisfied with your indigenous woman from being in Grandstown, well, that's your business. Stop bringing your wife open for people to launch attack on her. Stop it, all right? And stop watching Fred Mitchell, okay? No matter how you think he may have powder on his face, don't watch him. And at your age, you should get over it, man. You hear me? Get over it, Mr. Speaker. For heaven's sake, stop liking man. All right? And I'm not accusing you of anything untowards. But like the young men would say, The speaker seems as if he's liking man. Will you stop it? Tout le monde haïtien. Map connaît, Monsieur Speaker, Reme, grand monde garçon. And my basement league, pour stop it. I want you to stop it in English, and I want you to stop it in Haitian Creole. Oh, it is so terrible that these Negro men claim to be educated, claim to be national leader. Now he got a job as speaker, and he want to show us how arrogantly he can abuse power. Come on, Mr. Speaker. You're the second biggest black speaker in the independent Bahamas. I want you to be like how the first would. He was a gentleman and a scholar, and he didn't abuse people. It's horrible what you did to Philip Brave Davis, and it was terrible that you interfere with his love life. In your business, go check on your own love life. I don't check on other people's women, you know. I is check on my own woman because someone was making love to somebody or lady while they were out making love. Don't ever forget that song, Mr. Speaker. Leave other man, woman alone. Woman ain't do you nothing. And Philip Brave Davis, whatever you think of him, is a gentleman. I've watched him for the last 30 years in the company of women. No matter what their status in the life is, he's been a consummate gentleman. A consummate gentleman. He treats the woman them with dignity. And you know, I am the leader of the woman them. You should hang your head in shame. And if it was not sinful, I would have told you something bad, bad. But I shall not do it. Ah, my spiritual advisor.
Well, Mr. Monkey, we must be reminded, too, that, we live in a Christian society, far and large. And, I'm reminded of a passage in Proverbs chapter 15 and verse number 1. Here's what it says. It says, a soft answer turns away wrath, but a harsh word stirs up anger. The tongue of the wise commands knowledge, but the mouth of fools pour out folly. And we have to, be reminded of this general principle that, when you say harsh words, the Bible says as principle, that it stirs up anger. And so I'm reminded to, remind all of our MPs in the House of Assembly who would follow Christianity to be the pace setters, man. When it comes to their relation towards one another, especially as it relates to the politics, Christians are always supposed to be the pace setters. And if there's something going on in the House, and there are Christians supposedly in the House, they are supposed to be the pace setters, Mr. Monka, which means that the example and the way they communicate towards one another in the House, despite their political differences, should always make a difference, because their first and foremost commitment is that I'm Christian first and everything else second.
Well, my spiritual advisor, I was minded to report Halston Moultrie to the Bahamas Bar Association. But this morning, I was excited to see Mr. Henry Bostwick, QC. And I did complain to Mr. Bostwick over this. And I proposed to complain to the Christian Council, since Halston Moultrie claimed that he is a Christian. I think we're going to have to rebaptize you. I just think so, my spiritual advisor.
Well, there's only one baptism. You're baptized once and for all. So if you do sin, there's a way to deal with that sin after baptism.
How should Mr. Moultrie deal with this sin?
Well, you know what? I'm reminded of a passage in the Bible where a young man who was baptized by the apostles, shortly after being baptized, he thought there was something he could do to buy the gift of the apostles. And the apostles told him, listen, may your gift perish with you, because he offered them money to buy this gift after being baptized. So the apostles told him, listen, man, may your money perish with you. You have no part in this ministry. What you need to do is you need to repent of that evil in your heart.
This is
So
powerful.
after the Christian is baptized and they do fall into sin, they're reminded constantly of that word repentance, which means to have a change of mind that results in a change of action.
And we all have sinned.
Of course.
We all have sinned.
All of sin and fall short.
It would appear
of
that the
glory of God.
speaker this week
Yeah, the
is
politician.
the biggest sinner in the House of Assembly.
Yeah, but remember too, Mr. Mark, because I listened to you, I think at the end of your first session, and you talk about a big meeting happening tonight in
yes,
in
the
Nassau Village.
PLP is meeting
Right, but you have to remember
in
this,
Nassau
though.
Village at 7 p.m.
Right.
and I call on every woman
that
to
advice,
come
yeah, but that advice that you give
with
is not good.
with a roll
Yeah, but
of toilet paper.
that advice is not good.
All right?
Never overcome evil with evil. The
This is
Bible
not
says
evil.
overcome evil with good.
The
Do the right thing.
speaker
Do the right thing,
is
man.
unclean. You come with a ball of toilet paper. And when we see the speaker, I'm going to say, on your mark, get set. And when you hear me say get set, you throw the toilet paper in the air. So the speaker would know that we think he is unclean and he should take the toilet paper and wash. Yeah, it's horrible what he's done. At this point, I wish to do a shout out to a 7-year-old boy, a student. His name is Lamont Bow. He lives in the Bainstown and Grandstown. This morning, he boldly approached me after telling his dad, "You see that man there? He is my family." And when he approached me and I asked him to tell me how I became his relative, and he called his grandmother's name, I said, "Listen, yes, I'm your relative, because your grandma and my wife are first cousins, and your ma and my daughters is second cousin, and all y'all are related on the woman's side. You are my family." It was powerful. He's going to be a great young man one day. Lamont Bow, listen, I was proud to meet you, and I was excited that you are one of the children there. But greater than that, all of my children are members of your immediate family. Okay? So when you see me, you keep hailing me, you're a good young man. It was powerful. It's amazing. We have to be very responsible.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Because thousands of children all over the country,
Watching.
young people, they're watching Freedom March, and I'm excited when the baby them see me. You know, woman had a whole baby, and when the baby see me, the baby started shouting freedom. I mean, it was powerful. Powerful, powerful,
And by
powerful.
extension, it also meant that people are watching the House of Assembly as well. So
Yes.
our politicians must be reminded that they have to stay above the fray in their
Yeah.
attitude and action
And leave
towards
man,
one another.
wife alone.
Lead
Them
by
things is
example.
because fight. I mean, can you imagine if you and the leader of the opposition have to be fighting? Come on.
And the word Durgan is not a good word at all. It's a very negative word that carries a bad connotation.
Well, if the speaker acted like Durgan, I thought Durgan was like somebody's name.
It's not a nice thing at all.
Well, the speaker was not nice. He
so
provoked the man.
who used the word? Who used the word
Philip
Durgan?
Brave Davis described the speaker's action as a bully.
Right. So who used the word Durgan?
The leader of the opposition.
Oh,
He was provoked.
yeah. Okay, but
That's all I'm saying.
It's still not the right thing to say, though.
Well, you gotta say it.
Because I remember
What
growing
was
up.
better? If I
say peaceful words,
if
man.
I curse your wife out, your wife even ain't do me nothing.
Yeah, but I'll
Right?
still speak peace and love to you, man. You
Okay,
know?
well, you speak peace and love.
Peace
but you,
and love,
you
man.
tell the
Words-
speaker it begins with him.
Words don't mean much, you know.
Yeah, man.
People can say what they want
Why
to say.
stick and stones will break your bones.
words can never harm me.
But words will also damage your mind.
Well, it all
You hear me?
depends, man.
You take it
know?
from me?
Words are words, and that's all they are. It all depends on how you receive it.
Well, I receive his words badly.
But Durgan is not a nice word at all.
Mr. Speaker, for the first time I've ever heard the word Durgan. Mr. Speaker,
It's
your
a bad
name
woman.
is Halston Moultrie the Durgan. The buffoon.
That's not nice, man.
You're not kind, Mr. Speaker.
The word Durgan is a bad
You need
woman.
to go and wash that robe. This is Freedom March. I'll be right back after the break when I look at what Prophetess Miriam say.
Freedom March with Rodney Monker will be right back after this. Freedom March with Rodney Monker.
Welcome back to Freedom March, broadcasting live on ILTV studios here in Nassau, Bahamas. My name is Rodney Monker. Bradley Roll is my spiritual advisor. Yesterday, in the Honorable House of Assembly, the conduct of the Speaker, my goodness, it will go down in infamy. It is horrible what he has done. He thinks he is a man by attacking the wife of the leader of the opposition when the woman never did him anything, nor did she attack him. Oh, these men, I don't understand them. They're soft men. All right? Don't mind they look big, black, and hard. They're soft. It's horrible what he did. All right? It's horrible. But I'm going to leave the House of Assembly for a second because I've told you that I'm building a case against the Attorney General of the Bahamas, Carl Bettel. I've been sitting down looking at the files because Carl Bettel continues to be on my mind, and we got to build a case against him because he's trying to put rape on decent married men. And so the married men must rise up against him. Carl Bettel is in the midst of two controversies in which his actions have cast a negative light on the international scene. First is the lie he told in Geneva that he had had discussions with religious leaders on aggravated spousal sexual abuse, when, in fact, his email invitation to the Bahamas Christian Council to engage in such discussions had even not yet been opened. And now there is the mad tale of Carl Bettel and Brent Simonet, first losing their case of repatriating John Charles to Haiti, although he had not come to the Bahamas from Haiti, and then losing the case of retaining John Charles on his return to the Bahamas after he was issued a travel document under court order allowing re-entry into the country to have the matter judged and concluded in court. Shakespeare would have called this a comedy of errors, but I call this a tragedy of treachery. This kind of treachery sends a very bad message abroad regarding the pathetically whimsical and atrociously capricious actions of the FNM government, acting under Carl Bettel's counsel. Bettel, by this action, has scuttled all possibilities in the near future for foreign persons accused of a crime in the Bahamas, such as human smuggling and trafficking in persons, to turn crown witness, as they will now be afraid that Carl Wilcher Bettel, the Attorney General, would renege on the deal even while they are still in the air, coming to testify and have them arrested immediately on landing. There was an agreement, and Bettel, the whimsical scuttler, aided and abetted by the equally capricious Simonet, both having their egos painfully stung by the court ruling, scuttled the whole process and was once again stung embarrassingly by the court order that the detainment cease forthwith. The essence of these two strikes against Bethel is good faith, trust, and confidence. In both instances, Bethel is not acting in good faith and in a trustworthy manner. You can't trust him to act in good faith and report accurately in Geneva the real facts on the ground in the Bahamas. And you can't trust him to act in good faith to issue an approval to travel to the Bahamas that does not have a hidden dagger of immediate arrest on arrival. All potential investors coming to the Bahamas in the wake of Ministers' recent take picture and party trip to Texas should beware of the whimsical and capricious nature of the decisions of the Attorney General regarding agreements. The government, in all its action, including legal matters, should not appear too impetuous, truculent, and ego-driven. These are some of the comments that we have. But you can't trust the F&M government not to change their word, whether in a report or in an agreement, to soothe their petty egos. The government must never be the trickster. The government must never be the covenant breaker. Government must always be the party that acts in good faith. But Carl Wiltshire Bethel is turning the F&M into a trickster and covenant breaker government to the detriment of the overall development of the Bahamas. Carl, having sat down with Papa on Sunday, I am focused on you, building a case, because when I sat with Papa, Papa spoke to me. Papa tell me things. You hear me? Papa has told me that you and Fred Smith QC had an agreement. And somebody is lying, Papa say. Papa has declared one of you are lying. Papa's left me to make the judgment call as who is the liar, pants on fire. So folks, that is one thing. And before I open up the lines, I want to look once again at of the prophetess, Miriam Emmanuel, who, if I'm correct, she hails from Abaco. I believe it's Moore's Island. And the woman them, to the woman them at Moore's Island, you all are famed for dashing the man down them. So I'm going to be kind to the woman them at Moore's Island. Okay? F&M treating you all good down there? Because it's the people's time. So let me know what the F&M is doing.
Question though, former senator.
Go ahead, my spiritual advisor.
I don't know if you're aware of this, but Miriam Emanuel has
apologized.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm aware.
Yeah, you read it. She made a public statement on that, right?
But
so why are we going back to look at it?
We are going back to look at her paternal teaching. We, those wicked people, are criticizing her for what her father taught her. You see, the other day, the commissioner of police on the police website told the woman them, particularly the young woman them, oh, you're going to Bay Street, dress appropriately, because if, depending on how you are dressed, how you dress, it will attract attention that could be negative. And the police were criticized, saying that they were accusing the potential victim. And I sat down and I listened to a bunch of unsaved people criticizing the police, but the police was right. Because the woman them ain't only belong to us, the woman them also belong to the police. And the police is on the ground. And they have the intelligence. And we have to say to our women, I listen to this slack, wily woman. You have to say to your daughter, my first cousin daughter was going to the University of Wilfred. Not Wilfred. Peddling you in my mind. The University of the Bahamas.
Yes.
And I ain't call her Ma. Her Ma's my first cousin. I ain't call her. I call her Pa. And I said to her, listen, I saw your daughter at the university and I do not like the way she is dressed. And you say, leave that to me. And the next time I saw her, she was wearing church clothes. You think I was listening to anybody? I called the Pa.
Yeah, but there may be a danger in what you're about to do, though.
What is the danger, my spiritual
remember
advisor?
now, we now know that she doesn't support it.
Who doesn't support it?
She doesn't support any form of abuse as it relates to husband and wife.
I've not accused
right?
her. I've not accused her.
Her family doesn't. The church doesn't. Right? She's
apologized?
apologized for the statement. So,
Notwithstanding that she has been
I'm trying to figure out where you're going to go with this, though.
Just listen to it, my spiritual advisor. But the point that I make is that the police was correct and the police must continue to do it. If you see a young woman and you think that her dress is inappropriate, you don't lock her up for it. But the police has a duty to say, dress better than that. There's nothing wrong with that. Don't mind these wily, unsafe people, because the police knows what is taking place. But they were criticized because some Negro taught that the police was not politically correct, but the police was correct. You hear me? They were correct. And we as parents, we must be sensible. And when we hear sense, we must turn to our children and say, don't go like that. Don't go out like that. All right? I ain't listening to this bunch of unsaved people. The police was correct. Now, having said that, the prophetess, Miriam Emanuel, has told the House of Assembly of the teaching of her father. Her father has 10 daughters. And the prophetess, Miriam Emanuel, the MP for Michael, told us that her dad said to her and her sisters as they were maturing and about to take on a husband, how to conduct yourself so that you will not provoke a situation where your husband, who the presumption is bigger, can physically abuse you. That's good advice. That's good advice.
How so?
Just hold on, my spiritual advisor. I'm going to give you a chance.
How so?
That is good advice. I have a daughter. And when she was going to get married, I had a quiet moment with her. And I pointed out to her, I say, you see, Ma? See how she submit? Come home. Say, woman, I have problems. And she started rubbing my head. And she solved my problem. Woman, I feel sick. And she gave me good advice. Woman, I'm hungry. And she fed me. I say, but you remember that for the first 30 years, I did all the cooking. I cooked for the woman, I cooked for the children, I washed the clothes, and when the woman was sick, I took her and the children to the hospital. You don't believe me? Ask Dr. Norman Gay. So what is the point I'm making? Her father gave her good advice. I give my daughter good advice. And on the day that she was being married, I called my most loyal generals, men who are under my command. The first man that I asked to toast to her husband was Brother Sigmund Battle. Sigmund toast to my daughter, toast to her husband, and then he got serious. And he told my son-in-law, he said, now you see this young lady? It's Brother Monca's daughter. We don't want no physical abuse, no violence. You see all them men there? All of them is Brother Monca's men. And if you physically assault his wife, all of us will beat you. And then I hugged him and I said, don't, son-in-law, because he got like, shh. I said, son-in-law, don't worry about that, eh? But every man told my son-in-law, they can be. Now they live good. Beat your own daughter. Beat my daughter. Simple as that. So don't get in what her pa told her. As a result of that, Prophetess Emmanuel and Brother Emmanuel live good. We ain't listening to y'all. I declare today that Prophetess Miriam Emmanuel, my spiritual advisor,
Man, you're not cutting this
is
straight, man.
one of the woman damn.
You're not cutting
Make your marriage work. Understand what you're saying to your husband.
Not by
Be
force.
respect. Just keep hold of this for a second, my
Not by
spiritual
force
advisor.
or abuse, though.
We're not talking about force or abuse.
It
Did
doesn't
you
work.
understand what she said?
I
Said that her father told her how
yes, I
to
understood
act.
exactly what she
And her
said.
father was right.
But that advice is wrong.
That is not wrong.
That is wrong. And let me tell you why.
Let me read. No. Let's read what she said her father said. I am the seventh of 10 daughters. And I recall as we began to mature and move on to take marriage and family, one of the things my father often say to us as his daughters, if you want to remain a lady, if you want to remain treated as a lady, then you must behave like a lady. Emmanuel, he said, if there ever comes a time when you have to come back to this house and say to me as your father that your husband shook you or gave you a slap or punch in your mouth, I will analyze while I listen to you. I will analyze the consequences that would have caused your husband to probably shake you, slap you, or punch you in your mouth. And I said, oh, simply what my father was saying, that we are to respect each other and have respect for your priest, your provider, and your protector. So in this honorable house, I stopped there. All right? So what is the point that I'm making?
Poor advice.
Poor advice.
Yes, poor
Tell me what
advice.
advice you would give your daughter.
Let me say
Tell me the advice you would give your daughter.
Here's the advice. All right? I would always teach my daughter, like I'm teaching her now, how to respect me as a father, and I teach her that in the correct way. If my daughter disrespects me, that does not give me a right to abuse my
We're
daughter.
not talking about you
All right?
and your... No.
Now,
We're talking about
You-
daughter
you asked me, tell me what,
and husband.
Okay, so here's
That's
the
context.
here's the advice.
Right.
All right. When my daughter decides to get married, I will tell her exactly what she needs to do, and she would learn this as she grow, how to respect a man. But from a Christian perspective, the Bible says, "Husband, love your wives as Christ loved the church, and as the church submits to Christ, so also must the wife submit to the husband in all things." Now, if the wife does not submit to the husband, does that give the husband the right to punch in the mouth? No. You see what I'm saying? And you don't use the punch in the mouth to try to scare the wife or to subject her to be submissive to the husband. That's not the way it works.
Listen to me.
That's bad advice, man.
She is reporting the advice that her father gave to her. As a result of that good advice, she has a wonderful marriage. Let's open the line. Let the people
I don't see it that
row.
way.
Well, okay.
I don't see it that way.
So you, when it comes to your daughter,
That is poor advice.
listen to me.
That's poor advice. So in essence, let's look at the story. So in essence, what her father would be saying, if you come to me and you tell me your husband
Beat you.
shake you or beat you,
Yeah.
because you cursed your husband out and told him about his mother, then you deserve to be punched in the face by your husband. That is what the message is.
Well, he said he would
But that
analyze
is
it.
but that is wrong.
But
that is wrong.
so let's look at it another way.
You see, because essentially that's what it's saying.
Should-
that you deserved. Does anyone deserve to be punched in the mouth?
Should listen to what the father's saying. Listen to what the patriarch of that family is saying.
Mr. Monkey loses this one today.
Listen to me.
I can't understand this angle you're
Okay,
coming
well,
from,
don't
but we
answer
can't
it.
on national TV. You can't do that.
What I can't do.
You must condemn stuff like that,
You
man,
keep quiet
because
for
it
a
has
second. Let me
nothing.
tell you what I'm doing. As
Wow.
a result,
Wow.
every parent is to give the children their best advice. And all she did is to report the advice. You don't condemn her. And that is what they did. If you have a problem, you may want to
Yes, but
condemn her father.
why would she use that point in the House of Assembly? Though?
I don't
Why
know
use
why.
that?
That's
Because
the
if
point
she
to
is
use.
against that and she knows that advice is wrong, I wouldn't use
She
that.
never said she was against it.
Yes, man, she condemned
No,
that.
she is forced politically.
It's amazing, eh? Oh,
My-
so you think she supports it?
My spiritual advisor, the woman
So that
stood
means
up.
her apology is not genuine.
I don't know if it's genuine.
Well, that's what all this leads to.
The Jamaican woman, Donna Nichols, got up and said she must resign. Right? So she's under political pressure.
Oh.
So she apologized.
Ah,
but she
Mr. Monkey,
believed
you're going on a slippery slope, my
there's
friend.
nothing slippery. It's right here. Hello, welcome to Freedom March. So,
Gentlemen, how you doing today?
right
Yes, how
here.
you doing, man?
This is hot. This is a hot topic today.
It is.
Yeah, but if you have to beat a woman for her to stay with you, you don't need.
Yeah,
you
don't make no
need-
sense.
I quite agree with you.
You don't
Yes.
beat women, man.
No.
I can
No.
agree with you.
They had to be, not used physically, but they're used not to be abused.
We're not advocating
Put their
violence
mind
against
in there,
women. We're saying what she report her teaching is. Don't forget now, a girl first love is who? Her father.
Yes.
Go ahead.
Well, actually, I just want to say something about Bay Street right now, okay? Something other than this topic that we're on. But do you realize that we now have what we call Joneses on downtown Bay Street as we speak? I mean, seriously.
Now, when you say
Is
Joneses-
it still loitering? Is it
When
still
you say
offense?
Joneses, what do you mean?
If you in the downtown area, there are what we call Joneses.
Okay.
Okay, and we all know what Joneses are in the Bahamas.
Or vagrants. What
Vagrants. Okay.
Okay.
There are a lot of them are down in the downtown area.
So
tourist
the
area.
vagrant may not necessarily be a Joneser, because my concept.
No. I know.
That's why I
Everybody can
asked
see.
you
There's
what you
one
mean.
actually hang by by the Supreme Court, by the library there. One hang right there right now.
Yeah, okay.
And when the guests pass, he's actually begging the tourists as they pass. Okay, he used to be over the hill. Now you probably find out there's more money downtown. Okay, but I'm just saying, I know loitering, they call it loiter, vagrancy, it's supposed to be an offense. So if you're downtown and you know that you don't have no money, they can see that you don't have any money, and you're bothering people, there's vagrancy. Okay, but
okay.
I mean, I just bring up different topic.
All right, interesting.
And earlier when you were talking about this Halton Mutri, it's actually personal. The whole thing about it is actually personal. Nothing professional about it, nothing to do with politics, it's just personal.
I agree with you.
Okay, and then you mentioned something about Brave Davis using the term Durrigan.
Yeah.
I think he meant a fish. I think a Durrigan is something fish in
Okay.
the Bahamas, okay? And another thing, I understand there's something about the last case that the Supreme Court did with the gentleman that was...
John
saying
Ronnie,
that
John
he
Charles?
Deported, yes.
Yeah.
I was telling my wife earlier about that. They're saying this is going to be something that they're going to use as an advantage. And like I said, I read something today in the papers about 6,000 of them trying to use the same information that Charles used to get by. So it's going to be a trend. So now anybody can come up with any type of papers now and say, okay, yes, I was
That is
born
not
there.
true. Although it's true. Because the Minister of Transport, the Honorable Frankie Campbell, all he produced is an affidavit with no exhibit
right.
attached. And Hubert Alexander Ingram told me over a wonderful Sunday breakfast that Frankie affidavit is fraudulent. And if Frankie could sit in the cabinet of the Bahamas meeting with the International Development Bank, John Ronnie, who was born here and could prove it, should stay here with us.
Yep. And also, one more thing. I saw your friend earlier meeting the Queen.
One of my friends-
He looked sharp along with his wife.
Oh, yes, I saw that too.
Greenslade.
Who's
Yeah,
meeting
the former
Queen?
Commissioner of Police.
The former Commissioner of Police, Greenslade.
Greenslade?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, he's a
Yeah.
consummate
not-
gentleman.
He's the British High Commissioner. I
Yeah, he
thought,
met
Yeah.
the Queen. The Queen received them and his wife.
Yes,
Anyway, gentlemen, you have a perfect evening.
You
man.
do
I
the same.
thank you, my
Okay.
brother.
Bye-bye.
And what you call Greenslade?
Is he the High Commissioner? No?
Yeah, the
Yes.
High Commissioner to the Court of King James.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
A very esteemed position.
yeah. So he's the High Commissioner from the Bahamas.
Yes,
It's
absolutely.
powerful. Yeah.
All right.
Well, we've dealt with Sister and Prophetess Miriam Emmanuel. Sister, go and sin no more. Your sins are forgiven. You are taught by your father. Blessed is the daughter who listened to her blessed father. Go and sin no more, and don't worry about the rest of these Negroes. Continue to submit to your husband.
Do you have something to say to the senator? Call Freedom March at 323-7775. Toll free from anywhere in the Bahamas at 242-300-0045. Freedom March with Rodney Monker, only on ILTV. Freedom March with Rodney Monker.
Welcome back to Freedom March, broadcasting live on ILTV Studios here in Nassau, Bahamas. My name is Rodney Monker. Bradley Roll is my spiritual advisor. Bradley, how are you?
I'm doing great, Mr.
Let's go
Monker.
straight to the
Hold
telephone.
on. We got some text as well.
Okay, hello, welcome to Freedom March.
Good afternoon, gentlemen.
Good afternoon,
Good
my
afternoon.
love.
How are you both today?
Doing great.
Mr. Monco.
Yes,
I'm going to say something first. An opinion is like a nose. Everyone has one.
this is true.
Now, today, I don't agree with what you said concerning Miss Emmanuel.
Okay,
I'm on point. I'm in agreement with Mr. Spiritual Advisor.
okay,
See, she could have used any other analogy yesterday in the House of Assembly. But based on the whole mood in the House of Assembly, what seemed to have been so volatile, for her to say something like that is just adding insult to injury. She was wrong. I guess because people are now calling for resignation, she's saying that she
apologize.
was calling for father to apologize, but she did not have to use that analogy.
right.
She could have chosen
Anything else? I agree.
Okay, what she's saying now, what she said, like I said, it's already gone, and now it's like you're trying to close the fence once the dog has already gone outside. Out of order, totally unacceptable. There's no excuse for it, and especially for someone who professes Christianity. That's why I keep saying, spiritual advisor, no, we're not a Christian nation. We purport to be one,
Absolutely.
but we're not.
I agree.
We are a bunch
I agree.
of hypocrites in this country. And now, like I said, it would be interesting to see which religious leaders will come out now and who will have the guts to say what Mr. Mutfid is wrong. But they wishy-washy. All these people now, they can get up and talk foolishness and blame the PLP for walking out the House Assembly, but they won't have anything to say about House Mutfid and the behavior which he displayed yesterday. And if there's anybody who should resign forthwith, it's him, because he's
I quite agree with
supposed
you.
to be the impartial person. He is the one who should be a bridge over troubled waters and not a bridge that will trouble the waters.
You have
Thank
my
gentlemen.
support on that.
Yeah, absolutely.
I thank you
Thank
very
you,
much.
too.
God
You're
save the
welcome.
Queen.
All right.
Hello.
Save the Queen.
Welcome to Freedom March. Hello.
Hello, Mr. Monker.
Yes, ma'am.
Spiritual advisor, how y'all doing?
We're doing great. We're doing great.
Listen, the male caller that called concerning about persons staying on that Bay Street area now.
Yes.
Remember one time we lost a whole taxi man on the corner of Frederick and Bay Street. He had a shirt off, and they took him, they took it for what, loitering?
Loitering.
Loitering, that's the word.
Loitering, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, loitering. And he had just came from the Hilton Hotel, you know, hailing his comrades there.
I know the story you're talking about.
You remember that?
They
Yes.
shot him in his thigh,
Yes, man.
and he bleed to death like a dog.
Yes, sir.
I know him.
And we're the tourist policemen. We have a tourist police station.
Yeah.
We're all those policemen.
Wow.
So the caller is right. You know, we need to watch that because right now, you know, the tourists are not coming off the boats now.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Bye.
Okay. Hello. Welcome to Freedom March.
Hello,
Yes.
Mr. Monker.
My love.
How you doing?
I am fine. What's on your mind?
Right here. I'm spiritual advisor.
Good afternoon. How are you?
Okay.
Great.
Mr. Monker, I want to make 2 points. I'm spiritual advisor.
Hey.
I didn't hear you make much comments on the Speaker of the House when he attacked
the leader of the opposition wife.
I
right?
did.
Okay.
I spoke about it earlier. I did. It was wrong.
Yeah, it really was wrong.
Yeah.
And it
He was out of order. He shouldn't have done that.
Out of order.
Absolutely. I agree.
You know? And another thing, what I want to say, these are I can't even call the word
Dignitaries?
right now. Because look at Lady Bernadette Christie. Look at the dear Marguerite Penland. Look at Anne Marie Davis. Even the Papa wife, Dolores Ingram. And what the speaker said about the leader, Brave Davis' wife, it was very wrong, and I think the Prime Minister should have penalized him for that, because you don't attack people's family. You understand? These people have children.
Okay.
You understand what I'm saying? They are not inside. Miss Anne Marie Davis is not a
Politician.
Parliament.
Right.
You understand?
Right.
And it's really out of order. Because if it was my husband in there, how you think I would have feel if they attack my husband and then they want to attack me too?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
I think he need to step down, and Hubert Minnis need to appoint another Speaker of the House, because he look like he's dumb, and he's dumb and
Well,
dumb and
don't
dumb
say it
and
like
dumbest.
that. Don't say it
But
like
you
that.
should say dumb and dangerous.
Yeah, well, don't do
Okay,
that.
well, dumb and dangerous.
Yeah.
You know, 'cause
She can find other words.
He makes the woman say mad.
Listen, today is a day for the woman them to be mad. That's why I want y'all to come to the PLP rally with a ball of toilet paper.
Don't listen to that.
No, my spiritual advisor, you stop
That's
it.
bad advice. Don't listen to that.
All right?
Don't
You
listen
come
to
with
that.
toilet paper. Okay?
Don't listen to that.
Just in case he shows up, we could clean him. You take good care, my love.
Mr. Monta,
Yes,
my
ma'am.
granddaughter want to say good evening to you.
Well, bring her on.
Hello, say hello.
Hello, Marie Blanca.
Hello, how are you, my dear?
Fine.
This is powerful. Take good care and listen to everything your grandma say.
Okay.
Bye-bye. This
Bye.
Is, okay,
Okay,
this is
bye-bye.
powerful.
Yeah.
My spiritual advisor, the people coming with toilet paper.
That's bad advice, man.
It isn't protest.
Yeah,
Hello,
but you can
welcome to
protest with
Freedom March.
placards.
Hello? Speak to me. Hello? Next call. Toilet paper. Because I'm coming. Maybe with 2-pack for the speaker. All them dirty, nasty things he running on with.
That's a lot of text.
Hello? Read some text.
Loan me a
Because
pair of
nobody
glasses, please.
is answering me.
Loan
Nobody.
me a pair of glasses.
What do you want, my spiritual advisor? Hello? Go ahead.
I have to reject this call.
Hello?
Yes, ma'am.
Somebody's there.
Yes, Mr. Monker.
Yes, ma'am.
Now, I always agree with you,
Oh, yes, you do.
but today,
Yes.
I cannot.
What is it
I
that
totally agree with spiritual advisor with regards to your remarks with what Miriam Emanuel says. She is out of order.
you miss what I was saying, you know.
What you said.
See, the context that I was using was to refer to the teaching of her daddy.
Which was wrong.
I was, hold on, my spiritual
No, her
advisor.
daddy was out of order.
Okay,
Too.
but I was not.
Okay, not everything your parents tell you is
This
the
is
gospel,
interesting.
You know.
Wow.
Okay.
This
The
is
Bible
interesting.
tell you the parents should not provoke the children.
Yes.
Forget that, eh?
Yeah.
Yes.
So we have to be careful when we speak into our children's lives.
Okay.
Not because you're a parent mean that you are right.
See, I was not.
Her father, sorry,
Yes.
is out of order.
Okay.
Because I can tell you, no man, under no circumstances, no woman should put their hands on another person.
Absolutely.
Absolutely not. I cannot
Absolutely.
go there with you. She should resign. And as for Halson Mutri, he got to go.
Well, I
So
think.
you cannot sit there
I
and
think-
talk that kind of pettiness nonsense in the Honorable House of Assembly.
Well, it's Halston that we should go after.
Absolutely.
You see.
Absolutely. But I feel
Halston,
sorry for Miss Emanuel because she may not know no better. She's just following instructions of her father.
This is the point I'm
But
making.
she should be an educated woman by now.
Listen, the parents have great influence. The context in which I was supporting her is that we are condemning her when it is her father
Well, you
who
need to
taught her
take
that.
Halson Mutri out.
That's what I'm
And
saying.
if he is a protector, like
Let's-
Miss Emanuel said, he is the protector. He needs to go. 'Cause
Well,
he's
we
not
have to go
protecting
after
the woman
Halston.
at this point.
I agree with you.
Okay, he needs to go.
Okay.
Thank you.
I thank you
and
for-
spiritual advisor. Your point was on point today.
Thank you very much,
My
ma'am.
spiritual advisor, the people are with you.
It's all about peace, man.
Hello.
Peace and love.
Welcome to Freedom March.
Peace and love.
Mr. Monker, spiritual advisor.
All right, how you
Yes.
doing?
Mom called the names of some females, like, Miss Finland and certain persons.
Right.
I think the women there, too, in the House Assembly now, they need etiquette, some kind of etiquette class, just like the men should. They should go through some sort of, female, something to deal with being...
I agree with you.
You understand what I'm trying
Of
to
course,
say?
you're talking about the more cultured older woman helping to educate the younger women, the new female members of parliament. I quite agree with you.
Yes, and when I spoke about double pension on Emmanuel yesterday, I mean, she have to pinch herself probably 2, 3, 4 times because that woman can't believe she made it there, I guess.
Yeah.
That's why she's running out.
Well, you see, what has happened, right, is that the weightless men in the parliament seized them on Glennis. That's what happened there. You follow?
Yes.
It's
yes.
horrible. And as leader of the woman dam, I feel little something for Prophetess Emmanuel. Not saying that her analogy should be used on Glennis. No. I was talking in the context of the love and teaching of her father. Okay?
Okay, all right.
Do well, my sister. Do well.
Spiritual advisor.
Yes, you too. Have a good evening.
You have text, my spiritual advisor?
Yes, we have quite a bit.
Hello,
Mr.
welcome
Monka.
to Freedom March. Start reading text, my spiritual advisor. The people them on the phone. Hello?
Hello.
Yes, how are you?
How are you?
Do you have
Monka?
you have your toilet paper for the night at the rally?
Yes.
Okay.
First time caller, but I want to say this to you.
Okay.
Mr. Glennis Martin's father was one of those 10 men that went to England for majority rule.
That is true.
And they should have respect for her. Mr. Minnis should have say to the speaker, that's enough of that.
Yes.
Because she's been in there 15 years.
16. Yeah.
So for him to get up and say what he said was wrong, and the leader sit there and said nothing. The only person was in there before it was Brett Simlin, and Brett Simlin could have get up and say something himself because he's supposed to be an intelligent man.
But Brent is like a Negro.
Then another thing again,
Yeah.
Renwood Wells.
Yes.
The minister say he should get locked up when he signed that paper. He forget that, and he say mercy and love. But if Perry didn't show him mercy and love, he would have been in jail today.
This is
but
true.
Perry show him mercy and love.
Yeah.
That's all I have to tell you. Mr. Minnis have to step up before they overthrow him because they're leading him down the wrong path. And Mr. Moutry need to go back to school and learn history at the House of Assembly. You have a good day. And I bring the toilet paper if I was in Nassau, but I'm in Freeport.
Well, throw one from Freeport here.
All right.
You do well. This is powerful. It's hello, welcome to Freedom March.
Hello, Mr. Monker.
How are you?
I'm my spiritual advisor.
This ain't the same Funky Joe Manny.
No,
Mr. Spiritual advisor.
How you
Lord, what?
You are very, at all times, I've always been checking you out, and you always seem to be on key. Mr. Monker is hardly ever on key. He's always off key. What you said about the woman is right. You said about the toilet tissue, that's very bad.
Yeah.
For Monker to say, he says he's a sane man.
Yeah.
He's not displaying it. And with the curly hair, that's not true either.
What is not true?
And he says all these kind of things that really not.
What is not true?
In fact, Mr. Simmon it out, and his hair is not curly.
Yes, he got curly hair.
I want Mr. Monker to know that, and he needs to check that out, double check that, because it is not.
So,
man, I saw Brent. Brent got
says
plenty
so many
curly hair.
things. It's not true. It's a spiritual advisor. I must give you credit for you to be able to put up with that.
I don't think you saved
You're very on key. You're very on key, and everything.
Thank you.
I check you out, Mr. Spiritual Advisor.
Okay.
Take good.
You are a godly man, and you give right
I
where
try.
right and wrong where's wrong.
I appreciate that. God bless you, my brother.
I have to
All right.
Hello, welcome to Freedom Man. Lord, I have a problem with this Funky Joe man.
Hello, Mr. Monka.
Hello, how are you?
I'm great. Hi, Mr. Spiritual Advisor.
Good afternoon. How you doing?
Good afternoon.
Good.
Now, I'm calling on this remark the woman of the cloth made.
Okay.
She's a woman of the cloth, right?
She is a woman of the cloth. Yeah.
Okay, but what she said yesterday in the House of Assembly,
Yes.
that was inciting violence.
Okay.
Okay? If a daddy tell her that, how your daddy could, how, Mr. Monk, you have daughters, you could tell your daughter them, go out there, and when they get married, if the husband say something to you, and stuff like that, don't say that, let them punch you in your mouth, and let manhandle you, and all
Listen,
this and that.
you do not condemn her. You condemn the teaching of her father. That's the point I was making.
Her father, I don't know what kind of man he was.
How
he
you mean?
didn't love his children.
He was telling her to avoid situation that could lead to domestic violence. I think that's good advice.
Mr. Monka?
Yes?
That is not... Listen, when you're married, Mr. Monka, you know that teeth and tongue just fall out as close as your teeth is their tongue. Your teeth bite your tongue.
It'll bite.
Okay.
You understand me? So I don't... I ain't following that.
Can we pray for
Punch
her?
me in my mouth, I can punch you in the eye.
Listen,
Well,
in the name
Lord,
of the
we don't
law,
do that.
don't you punch that man. Hello, welcome to Freedom March.
Hello.
Sir.
Yes, Mr. Mongo.
Sir.
Good evening.
Good evening.
What's on your mind?
Well, I'm listening to your show, and I heard you make remarks reference to what you call a prophetess Emmanuel. Her dad told her.
Yeah.
Now, Mr. Mongo and spiritual advisor.
Good afternoon.
Emmanuel's dad advised her as a married woman to go and find peace with her husband because he wasn't getting in the married people's business. For this reason, you leave your house and you go and cleave to your spouse.
Amen.
That's what the Bible teaches. Now, I'm not advocating violence from one party to the next at all. But all she is saying is,
yes,
that is what her dad taught her. And Mr. Monk, you shouldn't back down to say, well, what her dad taught her is wrong, because he said that he would look at the case as it stands and see
analyze
why your
it.
husband, and analyze it. That's all that he is saying.
Yes.
And there's two sides to every story.
That is true.
That is why when children go from one parent to the next parent and they take, oh, mommy did this or daddy did this, you can't just listen to what the child says. And like I said, that's a marriage. So therefore, they need to work it out. They
Right.
have a vow, they have a commitment. We're not advocating violence. But what if your husband hits you? Then we live in a real world. Like I made a comment, a lot of these people calling in or writing messages on the post, they getting beat in their relationship, and they ain't even married, and they staying with the partner.
Now that make it right.
So I'm not saying that. She is talking about married people.
Okay.
You see, and when you're talking about married people, they held to a different standard.
That is
now,
true.
if you marry the wrong person,
yes,
there's help for you. Go to your pastor.
Yes.
Go to your counseling, and
Yes.
you'll work it out.
That is true.
That's all. Dad is my opinion. What I got from it. That is what her dad was teaching.
So listen,
her.
if
and
it-
that's what she was teaching the women, the young women up under her, like the Bible command her to do.
Right.
I got plenty.
So
I got
listen,
plenty more
before you go.
caller.
So listen,
So
caller.
I gotta have to let
So
you
before
go.
you go, give me a second, man. Before you go,
Don't tell me, listen to your
before
TV.
you go. So that means now, if the wife goes at the husband in an incorrect way, that give the husband the right to punch him out.
I'm not saying that.
Oh,
We
okay.
live in a real world, and these are real situations.
I gotta let you go because I got more call and I only got 8 more minutes. Hello, welcome to Freedom March.
Good afternoon, Mr. Monker.
Good afternoon, my love. What is on your mind?
Mr. Monker.
Yes.
The other day in the House of Assembly, you know how it seems to me?
Yes.
It seems like in the day when I was in school with the UBP and the PLP.
Yeah.
Like Sir Lyndon
Yes.
is the minority and the UBP was the majority.
Yes.
It seems like they have all to say
Yes.
and the PLP don't have nothing to say. You have to look at it like this too. All the human people have to look at it like this. We have Gladys Hatter who comes from majority rule.
Yes.
And you have Brent Simonet who don't like black people who is UBP. Remember that.
No,
you
Brent
must
love black
remember
people.
that. And they are using some of their tools today with those black ones who in there as their gopher. And that includes the spiritual advisor. Have a good day.
Yeah, but Brent love black people. Okay, I'm not gonna let you put that on Brent. Hello.
Hello.
Hi. What's on your mind?
Hello.
Hello.
Hi. Good evening, Mr. Monk. How are you doing?
Good evening, my dear.
And spiritual advisor, how are you?
Hi, how are you?
Mr. Monka, my take on this with the opposition, those being suspended.
Yeah.
Now, if you remember, and I sure you remember correctly, okay, the now Prime Minister, who was back then, was the leader of the opposition. Was I wrong or right?
You were right.
There were times when they didn't like what if the PLP said something. There were times I watched the leader of the opposition, which is now the Prime Minister. He got up, packed his bag, and he left. And his colleagues left with him.
That's true.
So why is it so wrong now for Mr. Brave them to leave with Glenys Hannah Martin? They're in support of her. That's their colleague.
Yes.
Solidarity. I would support her too if I was one of them.
Yes, you are correct.
They're not wrong for doing what they're doing.
Well,
and now Mr. Mutri get the guts to say they all suspended.
Yeah, he's a
Speak your
buffoon.
part.
And he is a bum in the nation. He's an abomination what he did.
If anything, he need to be suspended as well.
I agree, Joe.
And he needs, like, did someone say he need to go read the laws of what the speaker normally reads?
I got to let you go because I got a couple more people. Call me early tomorrow. You're right.
He's a one-sided speaker because it's okay for the FNM to get up and say what the hell they want to say.
Yeah.
But you let the PLP get up and say, oh, take it back, take it
They
back.
have to
You
pray
don't
for the
tell your person to
speaker.
take it back,
Get
though.
on your knees and drag for him. Hello, welcome to Freedom Art. Hello?
Mr. Monica.
Sir.
Good afternoon. How you doing, sir?
Listen, I'm struggling with my people.
Yes, Mr. Monica. I understand the struggle, but let me ask you a question.
Go ahead, my brother.
Is there really an issue that what the member of parliament said was absolutely wrong and incorrect?
Who's that?
The lady who advocated.
You sound like
violence.
Adam.
You
sound like Adam. You picked the fruit.
Mr. Monica, and her father is dead wrong.
Listen, the man has given his daughter an advice. Go learn and live with your husband. Be respectful to him. A word, abuse. Now, what you want the man to tell his daughter?
Can I ask you a question?
Go ahead.
Would that be the very advice that you give your daughter?
My daughter?
Yes, sir.
I've told my daughter husband, if he finds any fault in her, bring her to me.
Exactly.
I have a first cousin here. Let me give you a story. My first cousin couldn't cook crab and rice. And we taught her. She got married and she put the whole crab in the rice. And Mr. Roll packed her up and brought her back to us. Listen, I can let you go. Hello, welcome to Freedom March.
Mr. Monka, how are you doing?
Rachel, my brother.
Yesterday I told you that Miss Emmanuel lost focus.
Okay.
She apologized.
Yes.
Now it's up to Mr. Minnis.
Yes.
He will decide how to go.
Yes.
Either decency or out of order.
Well, the FNM is very indecent.
Well, he will be the judge of this one.
Yes.
Because this is a teaching movement.
You coming to the rally?
Well, I ain't got no tissue.
Listen, I'll come with extra pack. Because I just bought
The tissue's bad advice, eh?
toilet paper.
Don't listen to that.
Bring it to the rally.
I really go on spiritual advisor side.
Yeah.
No. You listen to the spiritual advisor.
Decency.
Yes,
listen
absolutely,
to me.
Absolutely.
The speaker is dirty and we have to clean him.
Yeah, but decency.
Bring toilet paper.
No, decency. I pick decency.
You have napkin?
Yes, sir.
Well, come with napkin then. Hand towel.
Yeah, but he clean.
No, he's not clean.
We'll wash him with decency.
Blessed are who?
Yeah.
Who will be clean?
Mr. Speaker.
Anyway, I got to let you go because I think I got somebody else on the phone.
All
Anybody
right.
else?
Decency.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Listen, folks. Tonight, the Progressive Liberal Party will be in Nassau Village on the Major Park. Rally should start about 7 p.m. You gotta go to the rally. You hear me? And come with plenty of toilet paper. And if at the end of the night you don't use it on the speaker, I'll come with a plastic bag and you can give it to me. Hello, welcome to Freedom March. Hello.
Monica.
Yes, sir.
Good afternoon to you and the spiritual advisor.
Good afternoon, sir.
How you doing?
Monica, there's just one thing I want to understand here. Everybody calling but husband punching wife in mouth. Glenys Hannah Martin is not that man's wife.
Oh, praise the Lord.
He disrespected her, and he should be
Ask March to resign.
That ain't his wife.
That is not his wife.
She shouldn't come up with that analogy because that is not his wife.
That's not his wife. I quite agree with you.
Yeah, point well taken.
But I was
yes.
not referring to it in that context. I was.
I know what you're referring to.
Yeah.
But everybody else call it, but punch and mouth wife and
Right.
That was not his wife.
That's not his wife.
The whole thing was out of context.
Yeah.
That's what it is. The whole thing is out of context.
Yes, you agree. I agree with you.
You
You're
take
right.
it from me. I agree with you.
You're right.
Do well.
Right, so you all have a wonderful day.
You do the
thank
same,
you.
man. You do the
Thank
same.
you.
All right.
So, the question of the day is the Speaker, the Honorable Halston Moultrie, is he safe? Is his action that of a mature political leader? That man is so arrogant that he suspended the entire opposition. He reminds me of one of my brothers. One of my brothers in Africa, Idi Amin Dada. Come, Moultrie, you are possessed by that spirit. And I want you to, reject it. And stop being a buffoon. And leave the leader of the opposition wife alone. That's terrible. You got wife. And those who have wife should not throw stone after serious man them wife. All right? Moultrie, I want you to stop it. Okay? I always held you in high regard. I want you to stop it. And I want you to repent. And I want you to sincerely apologize. You hear me? Leave serious man wife alone and have respect. When you disrespect somebody else's wife, you are disrespecting yours. This is Freedom March. The PLP will rally in Nassau Village, and I shall go with my toilet paper. This is Freedom March. Take good care. Let us be peaceful. Peace.
The thoughts, views, and comments expressed by Rodney Monker, his guests, callers, and advisors on Freedom March are not necessarily those of the management, ownership, or production unit of ILS, the Verizon Media Group. Freedom March is a production of ILTV Studios and cannot be reproduced or represented in part or entirety without the express written consent of the Verizon Media Group. Freedom March is the intellectual property of the Verizon Media Group. Copyright 2017. All rights are reserved.